All right, breaking news. Those are the visuals there coming in. Franco Mulakkal is being produced in court. He is in fact arriving there at Pala Court, where he is going to be produced in court at this point. Those are the visuals there on your screens. Remember, he was arrested last night after 3 days of intense grilling. He's accused of repeatedly raping a nun from 2014 to 2016. He is charged with unnatural sex, with rape, with criminal intimidation, illegal confinement. These are the charges that are against him. The police, in fact, have said that they are going to seek a 3-day custody. They said that yesterday, they said that they had enough evidence, enough grounds to arrest him. And Franco Mulakkal was arrested last night after over 20 hours of intense grilling. Remember, this has been an extremely controversial case. There were a lot of protests as well that were being held outside the crime branch where he was in fact being probed. Protests were being held intensively for the last several days, demanding his arrest. Questions being raised as to why he wasn't being arrested despite all of these charges against him. In fact, the case also went to Kerala High Court as well. Let's in fact go across to Shrija joining us on the phone line. Shrija, Franco Mulakkal here being produced in court.
Well, he's en route to the Pala Court in Kottayam. He will reach in a couple of minutes because just a few kilometers more to go to reach the Pala Court. Remember, it's already 1:07 p.m. where in turn he had to be produced in the court at 11 p.m. But we're also seeing that he is now supposed to be produced in the court before 1:30 p.m. But what remains to be seen also whether the court will give him either judicial custody or the police custody, because right now the Kerala police is looking forward for a police custody and for more and more interrogation, considering the fact he was taken into custody only with especially reasonable suspicion evidence, not with substantial or scientific evidence. So that is exactly the reason why we understand Kerala police is seeking his custody, but remains to be seen whether the judge will go ahead and give him judicial or police custody. Now, there is a drawback in case if the judge gives him her judicial custody, because remember, he can go ahead and apply for a bail as well.
Right. And Shrija, in fact, we saw 3 days of intense grilling of Franco Mulakkal, more than 20 hours, in which time there was also a lot of cross-verification of facts that was being done. The victim also, the victim's statement was also taken for a second time as well.
Well, absolutely, because over the last 3 days, we understand that the questioning was only based on the evidences or the allegations which were made by the victim, none at this point in time. So by now, we understand that they do not have any scientific evidence to prove in the court of Kerala High Court, considering the fact the case took place between 2014 and 2016. Remember, they do not have any circumstantial evidence. The only evidence on hand that they have here is the logbook, which proves that, yes, Franco Mulakkal did, of course, visit the Kuruvilanka convent, and he stayed at the convent as well, as opposed to where he had initially denied any such allegations. So that is exactly the reason why we understand the police is waiting for his police custody, which means they need a watertight case before a charge sheet is filed.
All right. Thanks, Shrija, for getting us all those details.